2. Hello, everybody.
What's going on, people?
Peace be.
This is Shiva Saturn
King Quick.
and
QH2O.
oh, I like that.
Yes.
And welcome to Lifestyle and Love, our live talks that we do every Mindset Monday. We're super excited to do this and to have you here. And today we're going to be talking about manifesting our dreams and desires. And today we have our guest Q Water with us. So we always love having guests because it's really important to be able to talk about things with other people.
Right.
Because sometimes, you can get in conversations in your head and you can only take yourself so far, which is why community is essential. So yeah, today we're going to be talking about manifesting our dreams and desires and the intuitive and practical steps that we take in order to do that. You already know my hubby, King Quick. I don't know if you want to introduce yourself again, and then maybe we'll let Q Water.
No, I don't want to introduce myself today. I just want to have fun and talk about the topic. I'm going to say like this. This is what, our fourth one or
Our
the
fifth one, yeah.
And each time it just, I get more comfortable with it. And at this point, it's just like, if you don't know us, it's okay. The information is the most important part. Hold on, you're making me feel left out. Let me have a cup moment. Hold on.
Okay.
Cheers. Salud. Dang. Dang.
Okay, well, I'm really excited to have Q Water here. He's a healer, among many other things, a researcher and a scholar. I feel like he's probably been like that since birth. But some people are not comfortable talking about themselves. Are you comfortable introducing yourself?
I don't know.
Okay, so Q Water, take it away. Who are you? Who are you?
So peace. So first of all, I like to describe myself as a constant manifestation of source energy. That's powered by love. I truly believe that we are the creator's children.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? And I always live my life in order to help. And I have to slow down because, I gotta help myself first.
Yeah.
And I can get throughout my trials and tribulations. I got blinded by that. Yeah. So first thing she said, I am a healer. So first and foremost, I do work with like herbs, minerals, supplements. I try acupuncture, acu-detox and particular, Tai Chi, Qigong, Reiki, any holistic type of healing, I'm willing to try.
This to me seems like a calling for you. Like it wasn't even a decision that you made. Almost like, to me, it seems like your vocation. And I know the word vocation has its ancient etymology in a calling, like a higher calling or a higher purpose. So it seems to me that you're very much operating in your higher purpose, which is super cool. It's so cool to see because you have so much passion about it, And every time I see you, he's like, "Oh, now I'm doing this," and like, really, that's so dope. Like, you know what I mean? Like, Q Water, he's just has so much a wealth of information. And he's such a unique individual. When I first met him, I didn't know what to make of him, I was like, oh, he kind of has an air of mystery to him. I don't know, but I guess that was just my own insecurity in like meeting somebody who just maybe so willing to unfold and be vulnerable. So that's been a really great lesson to me. You taught me that because you're so open and willing to like be honest. And that's not like, it's a rare thing.
And then I feel like I take a lot of people by storm.
Yeah.
Because I don't inspire to be in the state that I am in. It's like the only thing I aspire to be is good. You know what I'm saying? I just want to do what's right. It's very important for me. It's very important for me to do what's right. Because I remember somebody asked me that question, how do you know you're a good person?
It's a feeling,
Yeah, how do you know? You know what I'm saying? And like no one could answer it. It's like good shit. He's like, is it good traits?
Yeah.
Is it do you look good? Do you smell good or whatever? Like what is it?
It's your heart.
It's like who you are essentially.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's your natural instinct to be good. That's your normal. And that's my normal.
Wow, that's so cool. Yeah.
And then people like, man, they're like, you don't do that for, like you gotta be trying to make some money or something, or you gotta be trying to get something.
You deserve to be able to provide for yourself. That's a lesson that I had to learn too. Like I had to really heal my relationship with money and be okay receiving money for what I do, because so much of what we do is a social benefit. So you can get into the poverty mentality of feeling sleazy for charging for your services, which is it's an indication of an opportunity to expand in your perception of money and resources and having access to resources and being abundant, and so thank you so much for such a powerful introduction. Wow, so powerful.
Today's gonna be fun.
He said he's a manifestation of source energy. I love that. See, and things I've known you, but I wouldn't, if I hadn't asked this question in this forum, I wouldn't have known that that's how you introduce yourself. That's why asking questions is fundamental. It's imperative. Such a strong
It's
word.
very, very, very important. Very essential. Especially if you want to know anything.
Right, you have to ask questions, don't assume. So today we're talking about manifesting your dreams and desires, and I'm gonna let Quick take it away.
Okay. So, manifesting your dreams. We already know. We have to go to definitions in a second. So we can get those definitions, manifesting and dreams up. We always like to check with definitions. But what we're gonna do is we are gonna talk about manifesting our dreams. Now, what is that? Some people have different dreams. Some people have wild dreams of becoming a firefighter, a skydiver, a fire eater, you know what I mean? Like, whatever it is, a famous dancer, a famous fighter, whatever your dream is. Maybe your dream is having a perfect mate, having a romantic life, being financially successful, having things, so we want to talk about that. Let's start with talking about, because on Lifestyle and Love, we like to make sure that your lifestyle is inclusive of the things that you want in your life, need in your life, have in your life, and we don't want to separate them. So we want to make sure we focus on inclusivity as well as interdependent lifestyle building. So let's talk about manifesting what we need spiritually first, or our dreams spiritually. If we could talk about what we're manifesting spiritually, I think that would be a good way to start the conversation.
Oh, I love that.
And then from there, we'll talk about, physical manifestation. And then, matter of fact, we'll talk about physical manifestation, because I'm sure there's more people that are interested in physical manifestation than they are interested in romance, and then they are interested in healing. But it's all there, it's all needed. So if we can talk about that. And
would you like to start off with the definition as kind of like customary?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, so we always like to have to start off our conversation with some basic definitions to round out the conversation. So manifest, what does it mean to manifest? And I'm looking at the definition here of manifestation, and there's lots of shows apparently around the word. That's not what I want. Manifestation definition. Okay, so, all right, so as an adjective, manifest means a clear or obvious to the eye or mind. Manifest means clear or obvious to the eye or mind. So obvious, clear, or plain. That's kind of a cool definition. As a verb, it means to display or show by one's acts, appearance, to demonstrate. To display or show a quality or a feeling by one's acts or appearance to demonstrate. Let's see, like proof or evidence. So there's also a manifesto, which is a document giving comprehensive details, which is true. I mean, yeah, that is true. So again, it means clear or obvious to the eye or the mind. As an adjective, which is such a cool thought to enter. And then it also means evidence or proof of something, a demonstration of something. That's what the word manifest means. And then, should we look up dream or desire?
Yeah, we can. We have our own variations and definitions of what all these words mean. And sometimes we have our own definition that makes more sense to us, or simplified, or is more direct with how we see things and how we use the word in our daily vocabulary.
But these are help to guide the conversation. Let's see. It's like, let's see. Dream. Dream. Here we go. The definition of a dream. So we're talking today about manifesting your dreams and desires. And a dream is a series of thoughts, images, or emotions that occur during sleep. That's one definition. Another is a visionary creation of the imagination, which I love.
Visionary creation of the imagination.
Yeah, I like that. You like that one? Visionary creation of the imagination. And then I also read, desire. So manifesting your dreams and desires. So I'm going to look up desires. Let's see. From the Oxford English Dictionary.
And sometimes the reason we do the definition is because when you use words, especially to talk on topics, you want to have a very just basic knowledge of what the word means. Sometimes we use words in social settings where they mean different things, you know?
Okay.
And so we can always go back to the basic definition, or sometimes the etymology of the word or the history of the word, where it's traveled, what it meant, why it changed, what is it now. Then that can open up our topic to many different views and perspectives as well.
Desire, there's several. A strong feeling of wanting to have something or wishing for something to happen. A strong feeling of wanting to have something or wishing for something to happen. Also, a strong sexual feeling or an appetite associated with lust. And then as a verb, a wish or a want. A wish or a want. So today we're talking about how to manifest our dreams and desires. And we just talked about, we just provided some very basic definitions for you. And I think I really liked what he had to say about why don't we guide this conversation in terms of spiritual manifestation first, which I thought was cool.
So let's get to that,
Yeah.
because we're about 7-8 minutes in already. Let's get into the goodness now. We're getting better with this, y'all. If you haven't noticed, we're getting better.
I'm long.
Soon it's gonna be like, she's long-winded, but you know what? I'm patient, so it's okay.
Sometimes.
Yeah,
It's
most of the time.
Okay.
So let's go ahead and question manifestation in the physical, in the spiritual world.
Yeah.
What would you say has been one of the biggest challenges that you've overcome? Don't tell us about the situation at hand. Just tell us how you feel you manifested, where you are right now. How did you become so poised at such a young age? There's a lot of brothers out there that are online and their social media, just icons. They're doing great things. I love it. Especially a lot of brown men out there just really putting it down, talking about economics, talking about relationships, talking about what it is to be a man. I'm watching them and I'm like, yo, these dudes they're on point. But they lack a lot of perception. They lack a lot of tact, a lot of humility, a lot of grace that normally comes with being older. And so I want to know how the hell you, at such a young age, have developed that, and what do you think, talk about your spiritual, manifestation.
Yeah.
But especially with how you became like this.
Let me see.
Speak up, because we got to hear you.
Alright,
And
so
talk to the camera, yeah.
alright, so I gotta think about it for a moment. Okay?
That's real.
That's all I need. So growing up, I was very, very sentimental.
Mm-hmm.
I guess that has something to do with being like a water sign, because I'm a Scorpio.
Yeah.
And like all my life, I cried a lot, and I always had a family to kind of have my back.
Yeah.
So I always had support throughout my life. No matter how hard something was, no matter what, any challenges that came up, I had a mother, I had a father, and I always had brothers and sisters.
Mm-hmm.
And I ended up getting into a predicament that everything was kind of taken away.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I had to fend for myself, and I had to do a lot of things for myself, and I grew up.
Right.
And what made me grow up was I don't like bad things happening to me. And what do I do to keep bad things from happening to me? And maturity was one of the things. Actually gaining more knowledge, not just knowledge in the way of reading a book, but actually going through life and taking it head on personally, not giving my challenge to someone else, and not someone else taking my challenge for themselves. Because like throughout my life, I always had a big brother who fought every fight I ever got into in my life.
Wow.
Like literally, unless he wasn't there. And sometimes, like, you know, we fought, we helped, but I always had help. I always. And once you get into a predicament where you don't have no help and you by yourself, I feel like that's when your true self come out. And literally, I was the same man that, like, I mean, I stopped being so sensitive though. Like, once I had to be my own man, like crying, and I never wanted no one to take on my challenges. I just always had someone there.
Are you the baby?
Yeah, I'm the baby boy. Yeah.
Oh, I love.
So my mom had 6 children.
Yeah.
And I got a younger sister. Yeah, so I'm the baby boy.
Yeah.
So I've always been, like, you know, taken care of when it comes to, like, emotions and stuff. So growing up having that support kind of, it kind of gave me a lot of strength. Family gave me a lot of strength. So no matter where I go in life, like, cause my mom always been somebody who welcomed people in her home. You know, like, someone needed help, she always cooked for us. Like, people who didn't have food, you know, she constantly did this, gave clothes away. Like, she always was that person in the hood. I always say my house is the recreation center. Because everybody always can come over there and chill and stuff, you know what I'm saying? My mom say her mom did that.
Wow.
You feel me? So I always been, like, comfortable around people I never met. And wherever I go, people are always comfortable with me. And I be like, it's kind of annoying because, like, I don't play like the typical person.
Yeah.
Because I'm serious about my life now. But people get so comfortable with me because I always had this family. And I always been able to, you know, relate with people even if I, you know, meet them the first time. They can start, you know, joking with me and, you know, talking to me and telling me personal business. Like, they've been knowing me for 10 years, but they only been knowing me for 10 years.
You're like, whoa, boundaries.
Right.
I want to know you.
So yeah,
boundaries,
but the man that I am now was developed through, you know, growing up in poverty, struggling, having family, having friends, you know, knowing that love and God is, like, I know God is real. I know love is real. And there's so many good people out here who want to see you do better. And, you know, like, the people who want to see you do better actually need someone. So how Q Water was created, I was created through people who are great. The ones who are great, they need somebody.
Wow, that's
you know what I'm saying?
True.
So I was like, I don't want to just be I want to be more than a great person.
You don't want to let them down.
You know
like, they believe in you.
Yeah, and
so
then being more than a great person, you get to take care of not only yourself, but everyone around you.
Wow,
you know
so
what I'm saying? And then we need someone who is calm. It's so much like, because I believe we're more spiritual. I'm glad we started the conversation based on spiritual manifestation. So we are more spiritual than we are physical. That's why I would tell people, be careful what you eat. Be careful what you listen to. Be careful who prays over your head. You know what I'm saying? Because we're more spiritual than we are just physical. You might think that something is nutritious, but, you know, what if the energy ain't right that day? You know what I'm saying? So pay attention to your energy, pay attention, because it has a lot to do with your spirit, your spiritual being.
Wow. You know what? I get so much when I sit in silence and when I do yoga and when I pray. That's like, gives me so much strength.
That's the only time the body heals.
Yeah, so when you say
sleep,
we're more
spiritual.
So when you say we're more spiritual than we are physical, I felt the manifestations of that. You know, because we are, the body's there's so much water in the body, and especially as a woman, we're influenced by the moon.
Absolutely.
So we're influenced by our fluids. Like, as being a woman, you know, your cycle and your menstruation and when you bleed is in intuitive psychic connection with the moon. You have no choice. You know what I'm saying? You have no choice. Like, literally, like, and then when women are around each other, we sync up without even trying. And a lot of times we'll sync up to like an alpha female. We'll all sync up to her cycle. So it's really interesting how we have that psychic, intuitive, spiritual relationship that goes beyond our conscious understanding. And so that's what I got from what you were saying. But I found that to be such a powerful statement and very true in my life is the more that I'm able to manifest spiritually and nurture myself spiritually is when things physically start to change around me. It's the spirit first. Jay Roselle, another healer of ours who we'd love to take on in this interview and have her presence, she told me a long time ago, and I'll never forget it because it was so simple. She's like, there are 3 primary realms of existence in what we're experiencing. There's the spiritual realm and the emotional realm and the physical realm. The physical realm is the most obtuse. If you have the spiritual and the emotional unlocked together, the physical has to follow because it is inferior.
Right.
So she says you align your emotions and your spirituality together, the physical has to follow, and that's how we've manifested so quickly so many physical changes, so many material changes around us. And I've had to get comfortable with that, you know. I've had to get comfortable with that.
I was waiting on it. I straight up am fine with the physical world, you know what I mean? You see Sheba, you see me. I'm the one that's concerned with thread count in the bed. Can't have the cover on the wrong side, it doesn't feel right, I'm not trying to hear that. Now when I'm traveling on someone else's land, I'm honored and I'm happy to take it how it comes. If I gotta sleep on the floor with a sheet, that's what I'm doing. I gotta sleep in the mud and use the leaf as a pillow, like that's what it is. When I'm home, I wanna do things the way I like to do things. But none of that matters if I'm not at peace within first. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And so like for me, if I start living in my mind, I can't manifest things in the physical. I'm a physical creature. She does magic in her mind.
There's only so much. There's only so much you can do mentally, though.
My mind is literally used for curating and creating concepts and ideas, and then seeing from an above view, seeing how everything's gonna play out, seeing from a bird's eye view, seeing our future, seeing the most important guy in the room, seeing how I can create something even bigger than what they're thinking that can help them. You know, adding value to the most important people, adding value to the most important situation or the most important, my whole thing is vision. And so when I get in my brain and I start thinking about the little details and the little things, when I haven't laid on my foundation or when I don't have a good balance of my emotion, then what happens is my brain starts to operate and my brain moves really quickly. And so it starts spinning, wheels start spinning, and things start colliding, and there's no control. So when my discipline demands that I have X amount of physical movement, practice, whatever, that's when I find peace. Like in the midst of, it's kind of like an airplane. You see how fast these planes move? How fast does your plane move on the average when you're on the plane?
I don't know, I forgot.
You forgot.
Yeah. I'm not gonna try and pretend.
500, you can move 600 miles an hour, whatever.
720, like, and that's kilometers, so I don't know the conversion, but it moves really fast.
But you know, on the low end, anything from 300 to 600 miles an hour, but you feel nothing. It's relaxed. And that's me. When people see me, he's doing this, he's dancing. I'm dancing, I'm moving as fast as I want to move. And in my brain, I'm so relaxed.
Yeah.
Like I'm not thinking about my moves. I'm not thinking about if it's gonna look bad. And I like literally, I could be planning what I'm gonna go eat. You know what I mean?
So far as meditation,
as I'm flying. Yeah, it's like a moving meditation.
Yeah, I'm saying. But how do you feel like doing quiet meditation? So it's like when you move, you feel meditative, and your mind is at peace. What about when your body is at, like, your body is still, do you get that same type of mental peace?
No, I download.
Okay.
So it's very challenging for me to just clear my mind and quiet. I have to have some type of white noise. I use the cookies that you hear in the yunque.
You get really peaceful on the water.
Water, but it's quiet noise.
Yeah.
So the waters, and so when I'm there, I'm quiet. I blank out, I disappear, I have no problem leaving the physical state.
Water's like hypnotic though.
It is, yeah.
Even looking at it and hearing it, so yeah.
Yeah, so that's what my chill is. My chill is based on water, and nature sounds. We're sitting in the room. For me personally, I could sit there for a while. I could blank out. I don't feel as refreshed as I do if I'm outside and I listen to the wind, I listen to the birds. So if I do sit still in quietness, is normally outside. And then outside, I just adapt. I become one with whatever's around me. Even in New York, like you can stop in New York and just let sounds travel through you. I'm just enjoying them. I'm relaxing. I'm not thinking because I get to enjoy it versus think about it.
Yeah.
You know.
So when you go outside and you meditate, it's calming. So the purpose of internal, like when you meditate in a quiet space, so the mind deserves to be in full control over any terrain. Right. Darkness and silence is something you have to master. Because when you are outside in the world, you should be able to mimic that closet space. You know what I'm saying? No matter how much energy is coming towards you, you mimic when you can meditate when no one is around. You know what I'm saying? So it's important to always always meditate in that dark space, but don't limit yourself to that. Right. So it's already good that you meditate outside. So that's beautiful though.
That's interesting.
So it's like you can do intermediate meditation, but the first stage is like you working on listening to this. People like it's always different. It's so many variations.
Well, I have a lot of thoughts, and let's say for instance, if I nap and or sleep, when I do, I download. So I wake up, I got answers to every one of my questions. I got new ideas. I have messages. I have a new business. I have a solution to somebody's relationship. I have a solution to my own relationship. I have an apology. I wake up and my brain's like, okay, here you go. This is what you downloaded. You know what I mean? And so I might feel like as zen at the moment, but when I wake up, my brain is just downloaded all of this information. And so I wake, once those eyes are open, it's like, whoa, okay, here we go. You know, so whereas some people, they meditate to find relaxation. I don't really meditate to find relaxation. Relaxation to me is a state of being, you know, not a state of stillness. You know, so like stillness in the mind doesn't come from just the body being still.
Even meditation is bliss. That term is, genuinely speaking, there's genuinely no really such thing as meditation. That should be natural.
That should be
when people be like, you should meditate. People like, hey, how do I meditate? That's really that's a rhetorical question. Like, there's no way to meditate. Your life is a meditation. So so kind of go with your own groove. You know, like
instincts.
But it's like it's stuff that people have been doing for thousands of years. That's
why you see people, so natural.
That's why you see people doing yoga, tai chi, reiki,
it's so
all those different practices because they are ancient practices of meditation. But there's no true art. There's only one true art of meditation, and that's you going within yourself.
Connection.
You know what I'm saying?
Connection.
Yeah, so
absolutely, connection with yourself. So a lot of times people will be like, oh my God, you're so good. You do yoga. I'm like, I do yoga because I need yoga. I don't do yoga to try to be good or healthy or whatever. I need that shit. That's why I do it. You know, and I'm not a better person, inferior or superior to you because you have a different method. You know what I mean? Like I was talking to my girlfriends the other day and one of them was like, oh, you know, I feel guilty or I feel bad because I bought these books and I'm not from them. And I was like, right now in this phase of your life, that may not be your method.
Yeah.
I was like, you just had a child. There's a wealth of wisdom within you and a wealth of experiences within you that you're feeling and absorbing right now. It's a very specific state and a very specific psychology to learn from a book. There's so many other ways that you can learn. And I love books, but you know, it's just the reality of it that I tend to be a person who can absorb information that way, that works for me, but it doesn't make me better or less because I got it in a book or because I got it through yoga practice or because I do yoga to help me manifest what I want spiritually. And that's part of where I wanted to guide this conversation as well is I do yoga because at the end I download mantras. So it's like I wash my aura. I was Satguru was saying that the aura extends at least 3 to 9 inches outside of you, and that we may have a lot of things going on internally, but we also pick up psychically, the energy from the world. And he was saying there are different ways to wash. You can wash through fire, by like a lot of times people do through sage. You can wash through the wind. And he was saying that these are ancient practices, and when the gusts of wind could come in the ashram, people would go and wind wash, and they would cleanse their aura that way. You can wash through a warm shower. You may not have found time to do yoga, but intuitively you may have gone to take a warm shower to wash your aura. So yoga concentrates the aura. And there are many different yogic practices, because yoga just means union and connection. It's a marriage between you and God. It's a union. So there are different methodologies, to get to that. But right, what's most relaxing for me is I get the nice serotonin because I'm moving my body, right? So it's like a natural high that I get from doing yoga. And at the end, I come up with, but really I allow, through the process of movement, I allow myself to download. So my conscious mind is not in the way. And at the end of my yoga practice, I always receive these messages from my higher source. Yeah. I receive the messages, and that's why I do it, because I'm like,
if you didn't receive
right, because I'm like, okay, I gotta wash my aura or concentrate on my aura, and at the end, I'll receive a mantra. So my mantra yesterday was that my life purpose is to spiritually uplift millions of people worldwide through my creativity and my intellect. I was not available to come up with that mantra before I did yoga. I washed my energy. Now, this is for me, because I have maybe some blocks, and I know that's my method. Some people, they don't need that. Their method is different. So that's one of my methods of spiritually manifesting is I know that's my go-to, tried and true. Anytime I'm feeling sad, anytime I need guidance, is yoga. Sometimes it's a tarot. But that's, one of my methodologies to manifest spiritually, and that's been primary for me. Once I have that, then I'm clear. And then I can, it's hard to operate when you're in chaos. So manifesting spiritually is priority, is primary.
Yes, it is.
And you know how to do it already.
See, for me, manifesting spiritually, I do agree with that.
Yeah.
You do know how to do it already. There's people out there that feel, I'm not spiritual, I'm not down with all that spiritual, whatever, right? The thing is, you can't not be without spirit. You being without spirit is like an oven, a gas oven without a gas light. You know what I mean? Like the gas light is the spirit. You know what I'm saying? The spirit in the body is the gas light. Without the gas light, this thing, this avatar, this machine, it fails. It don't matter how good you look. It don't matter how chiseled your abs are, or how pronounced your biceps are, how clean your teeth are, how long your hair is, whatever. None of that matters if that gas light goes out. And that gas light going out does not determine on the muscles. It does not determine on the organs. It's not determined on the body in itself. Right. You have to have some type of peace, some type of growth, some type of healing, some type of positive vibration, some type of good vibration. That's not even positive, but good vibration for that spirit to have. It's like to have a strong light. If your light inside of you is just flickering because of frustration, flickering because of fear, flickering because of anger, flickering because of sadness, flickering because of doubt. You know what I mean? Then your body is doing the same thing. Yeah. Your mind is doing the same thing. Your cells, your whole system, which is built off of cells and vibration and water and memory, becomes a flickering situation. Yeah. And you become inconsistent. You become irregular in your behavior. You then find regularity in your obsessions, desires. You find compulsion, and then you become addictive to things that represent false excitement, false power, and false peace.
You're just escaping.
And
that's all because you know how to feel good. So we always are our higher self. No matter how physical we think we are always our higher self. We are always with God. Period. And when you don't feel that connection, you want to compensate through addiction. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Drug abuse, to overeating, to like overly indulging in desire.
Yeah.
What we was talking about at first.
Yeah.
That's because you know how to feel good.
Mm-hmm.
You already know it, and you know you are your higher self.
Mm.
But when you can't see that no more, when you can't, like depression, when it's taking you from that, you start being susceptible to,
Mhm.
you know, even infection and disease. You
Well,
start being more susceptible.
how
to
can
it.
somebody that's dealing with depression all of a sudden get woke and be spiritual and spiritually like let's
told me they didn't love
spiritual
themselves.
manifest?
Mhm.
Well, how can we help that person?
So
How do we get them? How do we get that person on track like right now?
And listen, let me tell you.
What can we do to
This
spiritually manifest?
That's exactly what I told him. Me and the brother, we was talking. Yeah, he Muslim, I'm Muslim. We just having a regular conversation, and I was just like, yeah, man, I love myself. And he's like, see, that's what I need, man. I want to learn how to love myself. And in my mind, I was like, what? You know what I'm saying? Like, where that come from? Like, he said it's so regular. You know me, I'm Q Water. I didn't overly excite the brother. I just kept having a regular
That's
conversation.
real.
I was like, man, brother, you better. I was like, man, brother, first thing first, you need to tell yourself you love yourself. Because first of all, when you talk to yourself, you're talking to yourselves. You're talking to your anatomy. You're talking to the Creator.
Oh,
You're talking about who you've been all your life. You're talking to
Yeah.
every single last past life you ever lived. You know what I'm saying? So when you talk to yourself and tell yourself you love yourself, your cells are reconstructing. You know what I'm saying? It's reconstructing to be on a love vibration. A conscious manifestation of source energy, powered by love, multi-dimensional light being, or fluid consciousness. So you got to understand we all are that. You know, we are all of that are that walking, that living soul. The Bible said we are living souls. Oh my God. How can you be a soul is always living anyway.
Right.
It's always living in the spiritual. But to be a living soul in the physical, you are human.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So you always keep your mindset on love, keep your mindset that you love yourself. Then I told the brother, I say, man, you need to go ahead and take a good diet, man. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you get your proper nutrition, because not being happy is a mineral deficiency. Your state of your natural state is happiness. Your natural state is health. Your natural state is love and companionship. You are naturally, we are naturally team builders. We are naturally,
we're plugged into each
you
other.
are naturally a community.
Yeah.
So when you want to completely isolate yourself, when you want to be depressed all the time, when you don't wake up happy, I suffer from the same things that I'm talking about right now.
Oh, I do too. I mean,
That's because you're not getting the proper mineral. You're depriving yourself of certain mineral. Your body produces happiness.
Right.
Your body produces cancer that it kills every day. They think cancer is the worst thing. No, your body produces cancer cells every day, but your immune system kills it every day. You know what I'm saying? But you got to have a strong enough immune system to help fight that infection, to help the minerals and the vitamins be able to properly get distributed through the body. You know what I'm saying? So,
you know what's so powerful about that as well? Because there is that psychosomatic connection, and it's that the mind affects the body and the body affects the mind. I asked a woman once what was the craziest thing that she had seen in a hospital, and she was like, when people's electrolytes, potassium, magnesium, and sodium get really low, they start to act really weird. So there is that mind-body connection of like, you do need certain minerals in order to feel like you can manifest. And I myself, since I was younger, in my family line, we feel very deeply, and so we struggle with sadness and depression. But I learned for myself not to claim that as a lifelong issue, although it's something that I can learn to manage. So because I'm sensitive, I am more prone to depression. I also thought that there's a biochemical, everybody's biochemistry is different. So you come into this world with a different level of chemistry as well. So my father has low serotonin, and I realized that he self-medicated through running all the time because that keeps your serotonin high. And he watches his nutrition. So he knows he has to be more responsible because he's prone to depression. So you have to get in touch with your biochemistry and understand what you're going through. So for me, I've had to be really responsible as well. So you do have to you can take matters into your own hands, have conversations, and ask people, and ask for the right information as well. As they say, seek and you shall find, ask and you shall receive, knock and the door shall open, you know? And so I found that to be true as well. Like mineral, you can heal yourself, I think, different ways, and this has to come with the conversation about physical versus spiritual. Like, it is also very possible, if you're not treating your depression through spirituality, that if you eat the right foods and exercise, which is a physical thing, you can start to cure yourself that way as well, right? But then the reverse is also true. You cannot be eating that well and not be exercising, but if you have a strong spiritual foundation, you can also heal yourself from depression. So it's that mind-body connection too. So like, maybe you don't pray, but your own form of self-respect and prayer to yourself is you really watch what you eat so that you can feel good. You know what I'm saying?
There's no true definition on the process of getting healthy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? There's
no
one healer. There's no one out there who's truly a healer anyway. I always tell people, I can't heal you. No one in this entire world has healed anyone. The only thing that has healed another person, or animal, or plant, anything that has gotten healed, it only came from God. You know what I'm saying? And it only came from that
source,
inherent source.
Yeah, that's
so
source.
you yourself
source
inherently, you healed yourself.
Yeah.
But to go back to that natural state of us healing ourselves, us naturally being happy all the time, we kind of got to fight. Dieting is very good because when we eat certain chemicals and stuff, when we was at our natural state, we wasn't mass producing chemically made food.
Right.
So when you eat a lot of chemically made food, your cells have to reconstruct themselves. That's when you start hating yourself. So your cells have to start doing it different, because your cells get a chemical it never heard of.
Yeah.
It has to produce a new cell for it.
Well,
Your body has to produce something new. So that means something old isn't being used. So the enzymes you use to break down apples, and enzymes you use to break down Oreo. So your body not using no enzymes to break down the apple, so you're not producing those neurons. You ain't producing nothing to break down that apple no more. You have completely made that spot in your brain dark. But now you're producing all these enzymes to break down this Oreo that's causing constipation, anxiety, depression.
Yeah.
You know, processed sugar causes a lot of depression.
Oh God, sugar is
you know what I'm saying?
Oh, now you go there. Hold on.
Yeah, it's so bad for you, and they know it. The drug companies know it. Okay, but that has to do with physical manifestation too, right?
Right.
So, go ahead.
But what you eat and stuff is so important because it has a lot to do with your spirit, because you don't want to end up subconsciously hating yourself. And like, we got to think about, a lot of times we'll be doing stuff and be like, man, I suck for that. Or you'll say little remarks to yourself, your cells hurt them. You know what I'm saying? And if you suck, your cells will be like, okay, we suck. Let's make a body that sucks. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I hate myself. Let's make a body that hates itself.
Yeah.
So, do you think doing the opposite can be an answer to cultivating in physical, manifesting in the physical? Are you saying that good behavior can help you manifest spiritual abundance?
Yes.
Absolutely, because it's
It has.
So that's one.
It has to.
It has to.
Synchronicity.
So can we get another one? Because we need to give suggestions to people
And we
that
have a
watch this.
question
If somebody's
also.
watching this.
We're gonna get to your question, Jasmine, in a little bit.
Oh, hi, Jasmine.
Jasmine's here. Hey, Jasmine.
Hey, what's up, Jasmine? So the process is called auto-suggestion. You know what I'm saying? So when you constantly suggest something, you're creating suggestions in your brain. So if you auto-suggest positive thoughts every day, you're naturally creating a subconscious mind of positivity.
Oh man.
It's like watching commercials. You watch commercials, you're subconsciously downloading that theme. You're downloading that motif. So whatever the person in control of that show has given you something subconsciously that you have learned.
Oh, yeah.
But if you control it yourself, like cut off the TV and create your own, program of suggestions. Though.
The auto-suggestion has to do with neuro-linguistic programming, which is essentially what you're talking about.
Right.
Like neuro-linguistic programming, there's a whole field of psychology that's talked about like how to effectively program your mind through neurology, your brain, and then linguistics. Auto-suggestion. My brother told me on the phone the other day, he's like, yo, I stopped listening to some of this music because they say Tesla said, when you think of the universe and our experience in this world, this manifest world, think in terms of frequency and vibration. My brother was like, I know that some of this music makes me feel like so primitive that I feel like I can't control this energy. And he was like, I don't like that feeling.
Yeah.
So he was telling somebody else, his friend, like, oh yeah, I stopped listening to some of this music. And they were like, man, you're crazy. And he was like, you could feel like maybe I am, but he he said, you know, I just don't want to do it to myself because of the auto suggestion.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because of that frequency. And when you talk to the engineers and the music producers, you know, many years ago, astrology and music was considered one of the 7 primary sciences that they used to teach. Because music was considered an esoteric science. Because they realized that even when you hit with like vocal cords, so interesting. The other day I got what is it called? Ay, ¿cómo se dice? You sing and it tells you the pitch you're singing at.
Mhm.
And then I looked up the emotions that entails. So I sing a lot on a G minor, which is sadness, and I've had a lot of sadness in my life. But I sing a lot in G minor. And when I first started singing, I sang as an outlet because I was sad. So I was like, oh, I want to change that. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I want to change that. But I mean, it's real. Like if you look it up, the vocal tones are associated with certain emotions.
Right.
One emotion of love.
Just like a piano
Yeah.
or guitar.
It's emotions. So,
Sound is based on emotion.
I don't know where I was going with that. But
No,
yeah.
but okay, so let's look. That's why I'm here. Hello.
Okay.
You was talking
No,
about
how
that.
time is?
Yeah.
So we have 2 more topics, and then we're gonna wrap it up. So 2 more topics. The other one was manifesting physical forms. How do we manifest things? How have we used manifestation in the physical form, and how can we use manifestation in the romantic form?
Yeah, because we had a question from Jasmine about romance. So,
Oh, well, that works perfectly then, because
do we feel like romance is more? I feel like maybe we could talk about the romance thing first because I feel like it's more spiritual, and then we'll talk
yeah, I
about
think
physical.
it connects. Yeah, and it's not. I don't think it's even as long or as broad of a topic when it comes to romance. So like this when it
May I
comes.
get to a question?
Yeah, please.
Okay.
Yes.
Jasmine, my connection went out momentarily. Did you guys already discuss manifesting romantically, which is such an important thing for people?
No, we have not.
What are some mantras, affirmations, and beliefs that you have to manifest such a beautiful union?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, like that we all have? What are some mantras, affirmations, beliefs you all have to manifest such a beautiful union? Are you referring to our union? Or just in general?
In general.
Okay.
But okay, so either or. I have mine, right? So I have a lot of them when it comes to stuff like this. So one of my sayings that I used to say a lot when I was a lot younger, and then I eventually now live it, right?
Mm-hmm.
What I will say is to love someone is to respect someone. But to respect someone is to accept someone. You see what I'm saying? So if you say you love someone, then you have to respect them. Now to respect me is not to not disrespect me. To respect me is to, in action form, show that you respect me. Show that you care when I'm communicating. Show that you have eye contact. Show that you listen. Show that you, even in 2020, occasionally might put your phone down and go. Show that you notice things, or you see me going towards goals, and whatever it may be. But respect is something that takes effort. Respect is not something that everybody is like, well, I give everybody the common respect. No, you don't. You don't know that person. They haven't earned your respect. Respect is something that's earned.
There
Just
are
because,
degrees of respect. You can give a base level of respect.
yeah, to somebody.
Yeah.
I don't call it respect.
Common decency.
I just call it ethics. Like
decency, yeah.
these are your ethics. This is decency.
Tolerance.
These are the do's and don'ts.
Tolerance, yeah.
Yeah, these are the do's and don'ts in certain societies. You don't do that in certain societies. It's not about respecting me. That's about your self-respect. That's about you having respect of self to not be out of pocket. You not disrespecting me does not mean you respect me. There's a lot of people that won't disrespect us in a physical form. That doesn't mean that they respect me.
Mm-hmm.
They want me out the picture.
It's maturity too, though.
Yeah, so to love someone is to respect them. But to respect them is to accept them.
Yeah.
I accept you with your do's, I accept you with your don'ts, I accept you with your blues, I accept you with your wants. I accept you with your flawless imperfections. You see what I'm saying? Like, you come the way you come, and if I want to see you do better, then I become the influence that I hope that you will follow. And if I can't become the influence to change you or to help you change out of something
Or
that
to
you need help-
rearrange it, no, I'm joking.
yeah, to change
I
you,
just wanted to rhyme.
you know, then I need to step my game up. Sometimes the best way to help somebody grow out of something is by influencing them
Oh,
to do
so
better,
true.
showing them how to do it versus telling them what they need to be. And so manifesting for me, romance and manifesting in a romantic way, understand that the everybody thinks it's romantic to pick a flower, right? And to smell a flower and to have flowers brought to you. But is it romantic to go out there and dig in that soil and till the ground, till the earth? Is it romantic to find the flower that you know is going to grow best in our atmosphere and plant that flower? Is it romantic to watch that flower and water that flower, protect that flower, grow that flower, watch the bees eat from the flower, you know what I'm saying? And watch the flower live its life? Or is it just romantic to yank a flower out the earth and say, here you go? You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So the thing about manifesting is a farmer's job. You have to nurture, you have to invest, and the processing of manifesting is not always as simple as plucking a flower from the earth with no respect on its past, or just buying some out of the store and saying, here you go. You know, that's a gesture, but that's not manifesting. You didn't manifest those flowers. You went and bought them out the store, regardless of how you earned your money. You went and bought them out the store. You didn't manifest that. You know, someone else did. Someone else did the work. Somebody else grew them. Somebody else picked them.
It can still be a kind gesture, like you were saying.
It's a gesture.
It's a kind gesture.
But manifesting is a continuous process of showing respect and showing that you accept somebody for who they are and that you appreciate them for who they are and that you're there to support them in their growth for who they are. That is manifesting romantically. That is manifesting a person as a friend, as a lover, as a teammate. You know, even if they're not your lover or your teammate, they might just be your friend. But you don't know if they have the capabilities of being your teammate, regardless of how attractive they are. You know, they might be attractive, but that doesn't mean that they're your teammate. You know what I mean? And so we have to know that manifestation is about the process of cultivating a good friendship, cultivating trust, cultivating respect, cultivating patience, cultivating the will to listen, you know, on both parts.
I love that. I also feel like one of the ways that Quick and I manifested this union is being open. So when I met Quick, I was in an interesting situation in my life. I was very in a moment of upheaval and I was very unstable. And he was in a position of wanting to transform his life. So the way that I manifested this union is that I chose myself in many ways and cut cords with a lot of people that I didn't need to be associating with. And I saw him on the bus. I was open to him. My car wasn't working at the time, so I was on a bus. And he didn't have a car at the time. So I didn't come with like a laundry list of expectations about what my man needed to have or not have. Not to say that, I'm just sharing my experience. So I'm not telling you not to have standards for yourself, but my standards were more ethical and spiritual. I wanted a man of integrity and of character because my mother implanted into my mind that money can go up and down and that you can build with a person. So not to date on the basis of the material things that they have because those are temporary, right? But the advice that she gave to me was, you know, look at the characters, see how they treat you. And does this person have integrity? So I had really high standards in terms of honesty. I wouldn't have been able to deal with Quick if he was somebody who consistently lied to me because I don't respect it. Beyond the fact that it's just annoying. I don't respect it in a romantic relationship. And if I have a friend who lies to me, I'll be like, oh wow, God, they must have gone through some trauma. That's so sad for them that they keep lying. I'm gonna let them know that I'm a safe space so they don't have to lie to me. But I don't have that level of tolerance with with a teammate and a lover. Like I need you to be honest all the time. So I have a very high standard to that.
Mm-hmm.
So the way I manifested the union is that I was open to receiving him in the state that he was, with all of his spiritual wealth and about to acquire his material wealth. So I was open to that.
Kim, thank you.
And
And sometimes it didn't feel like it, but she was. You know?
I guess it didn't
I
take
wanna
some adjustment.
not to just cut either one of you off.
Yeah, there's time to gel.
But before we slide, manifesting in the physical.
You want to table that till next week? And maybe
No.
Be like a two-part
I mean, everything doesn't have to be a book.
Oh, that's
It
unfortunate.
could be a quote.
It could be a
I'm
two-word.
saying it could be a quote.
Yeah.
You know, it's just kind of like, keep it simple and next week is something more brilliant, more wonderful. Like we got to let it come to us. But I think that we do got to wrap it up, and because we got to maximize our minutes, guys. We got to maximize our minutes. So manifesting in the physical form, go.
Exercise and diet.
Ooh.
Very, very important.
Oh, that was good.
Exercise and diet. Manifesting in the physical form, Shiva, go.
Discipline and preparation.
Ooh.
Quick.
Yeah.
Okay.
Manifesting in the
I have your answer.
Manifesting what?
Manifesting in the physical, key and quick.
Go.
Vision.
Yeah, good.
Vision. Big vision. Think big, start small. And I have to follow up for manifesting in the physical realm. Create great habits if you want a great life. Create great habits if you want a great life.
And great habits
I
have
got a
to do with.
great poem for this
really?
topic too. That's so funny.
Do you want to say it?
I can try to remember it.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, you should finish.
Go ahead, I'm done. Create great
I
habits
wanted to.
if you want a great life. Shiva.
So great habits means habits that are nurturing, that nurture you. That's it.
Yeah.
Habits that are
That nurture you.
habits that evolve you from where you are.
Yeah.
Even if you're happy,
Yeah, that nurture
keep
you.
evolving.
Yeah.
That
always
nurture
grow.
yourself.
Always grow.
And
Yes.
home.
Yeah.
3,
2, 1.
1.
Expire, change. God's true name is unknown to man. I've been born over and over again, cursed to walk this earth with sinful shame until I rise again to heavenly fame. Metaphysical knowledge, but I only can physically acknowledge what I see. Speaking truth like a prophet, but my dreams don't profit me. Became conscious of my unconscious. Now I can do what I think, I can feel what I say, I can talk with my feet. Understanding instinct, instinctively I repeat to regain knowledge and innately react with earth presence that's heaven within me. Peace.
Oh, that was
Peace.
so good. Thank you so much. All right, peace and love. y'all.
QH2O.
Subscribe. Subscribe. Keep it silent, keep quick. Keep watching.
Lifestyle and love, baby.
We love you.
Peace and love. Keep the comments going. Like
Share,
it,
share,
subscribe, and share it.